Welcome to this explainer. Today we're embarking on something of a high-stakes, almost cinematic odyssey. It's called the trader's journey, the silent war. Now, this isn't just about shuffling money around on a screen, far from it. We're exploring that brutal collision between the absolute digital chaos of modern finance and the grounded, often harsh reality of human discipline. We're going to track a trader's transformation, starting right at the absolute peak of sensory overload, all the way down to the quiet, isolated reality of true mastery. So, let's get right into it. Think about that feeling for a second. It starts with just a notification, a ping, a tiny haptic vibration in your pocket while you're sitting in a pitch-black room. You grab your phone, right? And the screen is just this blinding blur of neon blue and pink. Group chats scrolling a mile a minute, moon emojis everywhere, get-rich-quick alerts firing off. It's that whisper, that pounding, frantic whisper in your ear that literally everyone else is getting rich right now, except for you. Your heart starts thumping. You can actually feel the crushing weight of FOMO, that fear of missing out. People call it a signal, but right here, in the middle of this blinding neon cyberpunk chaos, it is absolutely nothing but noise. It's a total sensory assault, and man, it pulls you right in.
Okay, let's dive into this with part 1, the siren's call, from simple dreams to digital chaos.
You see, every journey begins way before the crazy algorithms and the 6-monitor setups completely take over your life. It starts with a pretty stark contrast. On one hand, you've got the noise, smartphone alerts, the neon blur, endless notifications. But actually, scratch that. Before the screens completely took over, there was just an origin, a really simple dream. Just someone sitting with a laptop at a cramped kitchen table, or maybe sipping a 20-cent cup of roadside chai at a sun-drenched stall. It's this simple, grounded belief that with nothing but a decent internet connection and sheer willpower, you could build a bridge to a totally different life. It's wild seeing that quiet hope of a better future colliding head-on with the manic overload of the modern market.
But then, the confusion sets in. You get into the thick of the market, and suddenly the red and green flickering of the monitor just starts to blur together. When that moody, dark environment wraps around you and that low, electronic hum builds up, you realize a pretty terrifying truth. You aren't really trading numbers anymore. You're trading against your own pulse. Your literal heartbeat is dictating your decisions. The market isn't some abstract thing out there. It's right inside your chest, playing on your deepest fears and your highest hopes.
Which brings us to part 2, the digital storm, the ruthless momentum of the market.
Now that our novice is hooked, they have to face the ultimate antagonist of this story, which is the market itself. Look, it is a living, breathing entity. It never sleeps, it absolutely does not care if you have rent due tomorrow, and it definitely 100% doesn't care about your ego. It's this cold, mechanical beast relentlessly driven by one single thing: momentum. Whether we're talking about the SPY, the NASDAQ, or the 24/7 relentless ticking of Bitcoin, these glowing bars pulse just like a digital heartbeat. You have to respect it, because if you don't, this machine's going to run you over without a second thought.
And here is exactly how it runs you over. We're looking at the anatomy of a flash crash. This is a real-world phenomenon that can wipe out hundreds of billions of dollars of wealth globally in literally less time than it takes you to blink. Imagine the sheer tension here. Step 1, the glowing green bars you've been riding to profit, they just vanish. Poof, gone. Step 2, the bid, the buyers who are supposed to be sitting there to catch the falling knife, they disappear entirely. And step 3, the screen bleeds. It turns into this saturated crimson digital waterfall just cascading down your monitor. Alarms are blaring, the room feels like it's strobing red, and you're just sitting there whispering to yourself, why isn't it stopping?
The psychological weight of that exact moment is just crushing. There's a saying, they call it a correction when it's someone else's money. When it's yours, it's a landslide. That perfectly captures the sudden, breathless panic of losing capital in an instant. Sure, the financial news anchors on TV will sit there and calmly call it a market correction, but when you are the one sitting in that chair watching months of your hard-earned work evaporate in maybe 3 minutes, it's not a correction. It is a landslide wiping out absolutely everything in its path.
And that takes us to part 3, the path to mastery, the shift to discipline.
After a crash like that, the chaos just has to end. The frantic energy dies down, and we enter this space of quiet, almost cinematic isolation. This is the big turning point right here, the birth of the lone trader. Imagine standing in a dark room, looking out a massive glass window at a glowing city. You just took a massive loss. The noise is gone. The moon emojis are long gone. You realize that the very second you hit confirm on a trade, you are entirely alone. There is no bailout coming,
No one is coming to save you. The weight of the world, that sole burden of responsibility, is entirely 100% yours.
So the absolutely crucial point here is how you respond to that isolation. To survive, you have to find the silence. It boils down to a stark, minimalist reality. Just the number one pen, one notebook, one plan. You have to strip away every single piece of excess noise. You sit down at a minimalist wooden desk, maybe under a warm lamp, and you just focus on the singular actions that you can actually control. Nothing else.
This builds a completely new framework for us, a massive transition from gambling over to business. In the past, man, it was so emotion-driven, pulse trading, constantly chasing that massive life-changing big win. And honestly, it's exhausting. But the environment of true mastery requires strict rule sets. We're talking meticulous trade journals, embracing the boring routine. It isn't about the thrill anymore. It's about the tactical, quiet execution inside a professional workspace. Just the click-clack of a mechanical keyboard and the scratch of a pen on paper.
Which leads us to our final section, Part 4. The honest truth, the endless horizon.
We're shifting away from that dark isolation now and stepping into the grounded, daily reality of the mature trader, the one who actually survived the storm. You know, the hardest part isn't starting. It isn't even learning all the complex technical analysis. The absolute hardest part is knowing exactly when to stand up and walk away from that glowing desk at 4 p.m., regardless of your P&L, your profit and loss for the day. Whether you're up $10,000 or down $5,000, the market closes and you simply have to leave the ghosts at the desk. You walk down the hall and you go live your life. And let me tell you, that requires supreme discipline.
Imagine a veteran trader looking directly at you right now. Sincere, maybe just a little bit tired, saying, "It's exhausting, it's honest, and if you're still here, it's worth it." I really want you to feel the true emotional weight of that journey. It strips you down to your absolute core. It tests every single ounce of your patience and your ego. But at the end of the day, there is a profound, hard-earned honesty in simply surviving it.
Because here's the thing, mastery is not a destination. You never just arrive as this perfect trader who never makes a mistake again. No way. It's a long, winding road that literally never ends. But as you walk that road, armed with your discipline, your journal, and your single, focused plan, for the very first time, you can finally see that sunlit horizon. You're actually in control of your journey. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We've seen the chaos, right? We've seen the terrifying flash crashes where the screen just bleeds red. And we've seen the intense psychological toll required to isolate yourself, strip away the noise, and actually master that boring routine. The journey's incredibly exhausting, but looking out at that endless sunlit road of discipline, is the horizon worth it for you? Think about that. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.
If you like the content and the intention to bring market awareness for all, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As you prefer these type of awareness contents to keep rolling, please keep the motivation high for the content creator as it takes real time and skill set to bring these type of channels to the audience.